Great. All right, so a few words about Skosmos development here at the National Library of Finland. So Skosmos is a web-based Skos vocabulary browser and publishing tool. Skos, of course, stands for, is a linked standard for representing, for example, thesauri, ontologies, classifications, etc. And Skosmos is meant to facilitate subject indexing and information retrieval, and of course, vocabulary development as well. Skosmos is mainly being developed here at the National Library of Finland, with, of course, contributions from around the world. It is published as open source with an MIT license at the moment. Skosmos is being developed within the Finto team, and Finto is a service which is built around Skosmos, for example. And of course, within the Finto service, we do a lot of vocabulary work as well. So, like Tuomas said, we maintain the vocabulary YSO, which is the main vocabulary used in Finnish library sector. And Finto started as a project some 10 years ago. It was first funded by the Finnish Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Education and Culture, etc. And it was launched to the public in 2014 and has since become a permanent service offered by the National Library of Finland since 2019. So we provide infrastructure of linked data vocabularies for the whole Finnish public sector, not just libraries, but museums and archives as well. So we are a vocabulary and ontology service. And within the Finto.fi portal, we publish thesauri, classifications, ontologies, etc. And they can be used, like I said, by libraries, archives, museums, and even media and some students as well. And this is the current look of the Finto web service, which you can find at Finto.fi. So that was the current look, but looking at the history of Skosmos, it started way before the Finto service. So Skosmos development started around 2011, as development of OnkiLite started within the semantic computing research group called SECO. The first publications of OnkiLite on Sparkle was published on 2012. Afterwards, the maintenance was handed over to the Library of Finland, and afterwards Finto.fi launched. And Onki was renamed to Skosmos, and Gold was moved to Finto. Skosmos 1 first version 1.0 of Skosmos was released 10 years ago, and simultaneously the Skosmos user group also started. Skosmos 2.0 was released in 2018, including new configuration format and Docker support. Planning for Skosmos 3 started a few years ago, and we also in 2022 also started going over the new visual layout of Finto.fi as well. And since then we have been working on Skosmos 3 in development sprints, and hope we are quite far along with the Skosmos 3 development at the moment, and so Osmo will tell you more about that towards the end of the workshop. And this is the roadmap for Skosmos 3.0. So as you can see, we have released some alpha and beta versions of Skosmos 3. The final one was released a few weeks ago. And currently we are aiming to release Skosmos 3.0 next month, meeting its core functionalities, and of course the development will continue afterwards into 2026. And we are aiming that during 2026, Skosmos 3.0 will also be ready to be used in Finto.fi. So here is a brief overview of the Skosmos architecture. So Skosmos is a traditional web application with server-side generation. As a database, we have RDF triple store with SparkQL, PHP backend that generates HTML pages for humans and browsers and search engines. And we also provide a REST API for integrations. Front end is JS, HTML, and CSS based. So this is a brief overview of the technologies we are using. And if the Skosmos development team would like to add anything here, feel free.
Yeah. The basic idea is that it should be pretty much configurable, being kind of vanilla PHP web page. We also aim for kind of forward compatibility in that sense that we try to keep things as simple as possible without like huge amounts of extending with third-party libraries. This has proved to be pretty wise looking back. I hope it's also wise looking forward. But it also means that it's fairly easy to customize your Skosmos installations look and feel. And also in the Skosmos 3.0, as you'll later see in Osmo's presentation, there are some examples of how you can do it. Yeah, adding to the architecture and adding to the customizability, it's also possible to add plugins to just Skosmos. So you can add small widgets that basically do anything that you can think of. And these days we are supporting Vue.js and then of course just normal JavaScript for that purpose.
So as for the development of Skosmos, we mainly do Scrum-style sprints. We have 2-week sprints, not including Mondays and Fridays. We have, of course, planning and review sessions as well. We had 5 sprints in 2023, 6 in 2024, and 5 we've had this year and 1 more to go. So our development team consists of 4 developers. We have half of them here today. We of course use some consultants when need be, occasionally. But I am the product owner since recently. It was previously Mikko Lappalainen. And within the Finto team, we have also representations of like end users of Skosmos as well. So we can rely on their support as well. We have these vocabulary experts within the team who participate in sprint planning and give reviews. And we work on GitHub. We have issues there and project boards there, so we can follow our development there and move forward. This is the Skosmos on GitHub webpage. We have our main branch, which is for Skosmos 3, and we have the Skosmos 2 branch for Skosmos 2. The GitHub page also includes documentations for users, and of course users can do pull requests and issues on GitHub as well. So looking on the overall view about Skosmos on GitHub, we have 23 contributors currently, and we have 243 stars, and quite a lot of commits and pull requests as well. So those are some GitHub statistics for you. We know that Skosmos is widely used around the world, but we are not entirely sure about the actual number of Skosmos users because we have an open source software here, but we have an active community, of course, and we can say that it's growing steadily. And maybe this graph gives a rough idea about the amount of Skosmos users and participants around the world.
Yeah, of course, this is just the technical side of people who are actually like involved in installing their own installation. So that's just the amount of people on the on our mailing list, like active, existing people. Yeah, we would of course like to know more of your use cases for Skosmos, especially since we try to be kind of end user oriented in our development process, and given that we are rolling out the 3.0, and of course we have some plans then for 3.1 and so on, it would of course be very valuable for us to hear about you when you start testing it out, since we really don't know everybody who's using this software. We do know that the use cases are pretty varied, because if you can express it in Skos, you can put it in Skosmos, and from the history we have seen some really crazy and innovative ways of using this to browse and search data that we never thought of. But apparently it's of course the strength of Skos as a representation system, and we just try to do our best in then just enabling people to have a closer look at their Skos knowledge graphs.
Yeah. And today, shortly, we will of course move on to the user case presentations, and we will learn more about that. But, feel free also to join the Skosmos users Google group if you haven't already. It's an active community, but it doesn't spam. You can have all the updates about Skosmos there as well. Great. But now I think we can pause the recording for a while, and if you have any questions, you can feel free to